Often when we look back at our growing up years, we think of that one place that has a special meaning, some sort of casual hangout, and for some like me, a first-time job. For many, that place is Partners to Pizza, family dinners, post-game meals, and a few first dates. I'm delighted to sit down with our founders, Mrs. Marilyn Royal and her husband, Mr. Jim Royal. Y'all welcome to the podcast.
All right, glad to be here.
Before you were doing Partners to Pizza, what were you guys up to?
I've been in the pizza business since 1968 or 69. I used to work at Pizza Hut, Pizza Inn, worked my way through Florida State. And then I liked the business, so I majored in it and went to work and outside the pizza business for a year and decided that I really liked the pizza business, so I got back in it in about 73 in Florida. Things didn't go well in Florida, and I moved up to Noonan, Georgia, which I'm basically from.
Okay.
And came over to Peachtree City to look for a job. And I was going to try to get out of the pizza business because the hours were open to close. And then I came to the shopping center and I found the full rent sign, and I had the equipment with me, so I borrowed $12,000 and lived on it and opened up Partners.
Why the name Partners? And Partners 2 for that matter. Was there a Partners 1?
No. Well, at the time, when we were with my wife then, we were trying to come up with a name. I came up with the name Partners 2 after Joe Namath, I was a fond fan of his. And I said, well, he has a place called Bachelors 2, and I'm just going to call it Partners 2. Well, years later, I found out it was really Bachelors 3, but I didn't want to change it to 3, so we just have always been Partners 2 since
1977. Yeah.
And then Marilyn joined, moved up here.
79.
79. So the rest is history.
That's right. And there wasn't much at this end of Peachtree City in 77, was there?
I remember a comment that I made when I was at the light up here by the bank that there's 2 cars in front of me at the stop sign, and I said, traffic is really getting ridiculous in this town. And they said, the build-out's going to be $45,000. This, of course, when I moved here in 76. And then, of course, you don't believe. I said, yeah, okay. I just liked the little pizza place I had with 6 employees, and I liked it then. And 80 employees, seating 300, 48 years later.
Right, closing in on 50 years quick, aren't we?
Yeah,
That's 49 years now.
Yeah. You even mentioned this before. Those first couple of years of running a business, that's especially hard with all the hours. What were some of your toughest challenges back in the early days?
I really didn't have any. I knew what I was doing, and I liked the restaurant business, and I didn't mind working open and close every day. And I enjoyed seeing people come in and eat at my restaurant. It was just amazing
And back in those days, it was like everybody knew everybody in town. So Friday nights were like a big block party.
Almost like a family reunion,
Yeah,
were they?
exactly.
If you didn't know any, it would before that, because I only sat 70 people at the time.
Right.
And then my employees was never a problem because I'd only hire either brothers or sisters of the ones that already worked there.
There you go. That's a great HR projective right there.
And
it did work.
When I would do the schedule, I'd say, did you work last week? Yeah, then you work this week. Didn't have trouble doing the schedule then.
It's a little more complicated now.
A little more
I
complicated.
bet it is, yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit about the pizza. You've already given a little hint to the background that you came up with this recipe, and it wasn't just from learning.
No, with my experience in Pizza Hut and Pizza Inn, which I did not really care for their product.
Right.
And how I got into the pizza business was in West Palm Beach.
Oh, okay.
I was going to junior college there. My current wife said, let's go to Pizza Hut. And I had just gotten out of the submarine service. So I said, what is a Pizza Hut? So she said, and a friend of mine is a manager there. So I went down there, and he was ex-military, and he offered me a job, part-time job. And I said, well, I don't know anything about it. He said, we're all ex-military here. I went to work there, and then a month later, I'm the manager. That's when I decided I really liked the business. And when I graduated from junior college, I didn't like the job interviews, so I went on to Florida State and took the same courses over again. They just said, just keep your books. You're going to interview with the same people. And so that's how I got into the pizza business. But I was basically a mechanic on a submarine, so
There's not a lot of carryover from that, is there?
no, there isn't. It's hard to get a job off a nuclear submarine. The stuff that I knew, there was just no demand for it. I spent 442 days underwater, and I had enough. And I said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
I can understand that. Thank you. Back in the day, what was one of the most popular pizzas at the time? And have things changed?
Well, I think pepperoni is obviously everybody's going to get pepperoni.
Still the number one?
And that it's still pretty high up there, but what about 12 or 15 years ago 15 years ago we had the potato pizza. And that I would say runs a close second to that. I mean, people do love that.
Yeah, we're really known for our potato pizza.
Yeah, I don't know what you did differently, but there's nobody who's got potato pizza like yours. That is for sure. Beyond the pizza, what are some of the other menu items that have always been kind of popular?
Oh, I mean, somebody comes in here now and they order a taco salad because we were like one of the first things.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, they're old school. I need to find out if I know them.
That's right. Yeah.
They're just certain items. And chef salad, which is all gone by the wayside now. Our parcent, which is our signature sandwich.
Parcent, right.
You know, people come in, oh, do you still have that? Yeah, we
Yep.
still have it. So,
Oh, yeah. Has anything flopped?
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You really?
Oh yeah, we've had lots of flops.
Well, everybody keeps coming back, so it couldn't have been that bad,
But,
right?
well, it's harder now to introduce a new pizza because when we had the buffet, it was a good sampling place because a lot of people don't want to commit to $20 for something that just not sure if it's going to work. So it's been harder to introduce new things, but we have got a few things out there that are different
Okay, on that note, because that kind of the buffet kind of went away with COVID, right?
with COVID.
Right, and just health standards changed.
Health standards, and we couldn't believe what the bottom line changed.
Oh, got it.
You know,
Right.
because we
You
have to
lost
have
so much money
on the salad bar of so much waste, and
Right.
then employees that did nothing but cut up all the vegetables and do that. So
Right.
we,
It just wasn't profitable.
it really wasn't.
Okay, well, I just answered the one question that everybody was really wondering about. So there it is.
And there it
It's
is.
not going to come back.
My daughters were still not upset about it. It's not the salad bar won't be back.
One note that I don't know, probably 5 or 6, 7 years ago, I refused to run the cash register. I wouldn't, because I couldn't believe how much we were charging for a pizza.
Right.
And I'm used to a large, $3.60 for a large pepperoni.
Right.
And I said, Marilyn, we really charge this much? She said, get off the register. So I refused to run the register in her place.
It was a mutual agreement.
I make sure the food cost is where it needs to be, and I have to pay the labor. So the prices had to go up.
At what point did you realize you guys were really a pillar of this community?
My first thought was, I'll open a pizza place here. And I literally got thrown out of the bank. I mean, Floyd Farr and Jerry Crozier put their hands on my back and shoved me out the door. So I said, pizza place in this town's not going to make it.
Not going to make it, right?
And they said, when we go open, I said, well, I've run out of money. I equipped the restaurant and lived on it for 3 months on $12,000 I had to get my uncle to co-sign for me.
Wow.
And I said, we got to open. I said, today's the day. And I think we did $300 or $400. And I was excited. Oh, that's great. That was awesome. I said, we got something here. And people kept saying, there's no place to get pizza here except Atlanta. You need to charge more. And I said, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to charge so that I can run the food costs that I need to run. And I'm not going to take advantage of anybody. And I still go by that same theory. I know people charge more, but I won't do it.
Partners has always been really good about supporting the local schools and sports teams and charities. What was it that made that community involvement so important for you?
We just get paid back, twice what we give because people do support us. And, if we didn't have the Delta community here early on, Eastern was huge.
Mm-hmm.
When they went under, it was an impact. It was a real hardship on the business. I mean, those people, were part of the family.
Half the town was Eastern and half the town was Delta.
Yeah. So the support goes both ways.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right. What's it like to see generations of families come back? Not only the families come back, but some of the people that you employed come back in with their families.
You know, we've got third generation of our family working here.
That's right.
You know, so it's always nice, and they come in. This is my kids, and and just like Michael Polachek that's running for city council, worked here, first job, and now he's back here with his family. It just makes me proud.
I always said that when someone came and said my mother or my father used to work here, I said it's time to retire. Then one day someone says, my grandmother used to work here.
And we're still not retired.
Still not retiring, right?
No.
What is it that you think this place has offered that makes people want to keep coming back?
I couldn't put my thumb on something like that. I mean, I hoped it was the food. I hope it's the fact that we do support the community, and all the high school kids that come in here, the servers, first jobs. So people are real patient with that.
I don't know, 5,000-6,000 employees over the 48 years.
Have you really? Wow.
And we work with them, and they all come back, and they when they go off to school, they'll get a job at a restaurant, and they come back and say, I never know we had it so easy working for you.
A lot of times I'll hire the athletes and knowing that I'm going to lose them for 3 or 4 months, but those kids know how to value their time, and there's they get it done, and that's why I always say there's safeties in numbers. So
there you go.
I think school comes first. Whatever you have for school, make sure you take off for that. We'll find enough people that we can work around it.
You guys have opened several other locations over the years, including like Braylon and Fayetteville, Tyrone, Arbor Springs, and Summer Grove over in Noonan, and even up in Woodstock. And then wasn't there one in Kentucky? Okay. For about 5 years. Were those franchises, or were this all family owned?
But we're in Woodstock, Summer Grove.
Well, it was a franchise up there, and I just liked the guy, and the town was just meat and potatoes town.
Okay.
Richmond,
Kentucky.
Richmond,
That's
Kentucky,
right.
yeah.
I remember that on the box.
He was from Peachtree City.
Oh, okay.
So he had grown up on Partners and said, I can make this work out there. And he did give it his all. But
like the Braylon store and the Summer Grove are both run by our daughters. I opened the Tyrone store.
It's a franchisee.
And then I converted it over to one of our managers, and then he wanted to open the Fayetteville, so they opened the Fayetteville. And then another guy contacted me about doing one in Woodstock, and
he was a local boy.
There we go.
Yeah, so
they've all got roots here.
They all have roots, yeah.
All right. What do you think is the biggest lesson you learned about opening a small business in a small, tight-knit community?
It can't be about the money.
Right.
You have to know that. And anybody who goes into business only for the money isn't.
Yeah, people have contacted me about getting in the restaurant business. Oh, the money. I said, if you're doing it for the money, don't do it.
Right.
And that second, I said, are you married? They say, yeah. And I said, don't get in the restaurant business. And I was serious about that. A lot of people want to open up partners or want to help me open a restaurant. And when I found out they're married, I said, you're not going to, unless you get along good with your wife and she can work with you, you got a chance.
And you've got to be willing to give up some of those times.
Right.
That's the hard part about the business is you got to work Friday and Saturday nights.
All the time, right. What's your favorite pizza topping?
And my partner special.
Oh, that's a good
I
call,
gotta have
too.
that. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Mine is anchovy and onion.
Is it? Okay.
And the reason I like anchovy and onion is because when I worked at Pizza Hut, every time we make ourselves a pizza, we put it in the back. Everybody else would go by and grab it. So I said, I tell you what, I'm going to make an anchovy pizza. And I didn't like it at first. But now I got used to it, so I'd make an anchovy and onion. Nobody would touch it.
That might hit my next question is what's the most underrated pizza topping? It might be anchovy for you, right?
It might be.
It's an acquired taste.
There you go.
But I like them. I really...
What does it feel like to still be thriving so well in a growing community after all these years?
It makes me feel awesome.
It does it?
It does.
I mean, there's a lot of competition in this town
Right,
now.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many pizza places that
Mhm.
I can't even count. I don't know. There's 10, 15 of them. I don't know. More coming. And we've lost a lot of market share. I mean, our pizza in our mind is better than anybody else's in town.
Yeah.
And we just really love it when somebody comes in and not so much here, but in the other location, that people would come in and they'd say, we used to live here 10 years ago. We were coming back from Birmingham and just said, we want to see what Peachtree City looked like and
Right.
see if Partners was still
Still
here.
there. Mhm.
And the guy goes, I'll be damned, y'all were standing there 10 years ago when I left. Here you are still standing in there. Yeah, and when that is just great when people come in. We're former employees. I mean, yeah, there's so many of them. It's been great, and we're never going to retire. We got married in the restaurant.
Well, y'all, I want to thank you both for sitting down with me. It is obvious that, just from growing up in this area, that you guys are more than just a food establishment. People have fond memories of this for growing up and for when we start bringing up our own children. So that's fantastic.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. This and all episodes of Fayette Footprints are created, researched, produced, and posted by me, Kenny Blum. So please let me know if there are any errors in any of our podcast episodes. And better yet, reach out to me if you've got ideas for future episodes. I can be reached through the tagline at fayettefootprints.buzzsprout.com, or it can be reached at fayettefootprints@gmail.com. I look forward to posting another episode at the beginning of next month, and thank you for listening.